Hey, it's Ricky here to do an honest review of this Willow Breast Pump. I had 5 babies, and with every single one of them, I pumped and I breastfed. I was so glad to see that when I was pregnant with my 5th baby that this was even an option, having a hands-free pump that was supposed to mimic exactly what a baby breastfeeds like. I was really excited to give this a try. I had tried many different breast pumps in the past, different flange sizes, changing so many parts of other breast pumps to make sure I was getting the most output as I possibly could. None of those compared to what the Willow does. I've had the Willow for 18 months and it is by far the best breast pump I have ever tried. So many things that you can do with this breast pump. That it's hands-free is beyond convenient. Manual pumps made it so that you obviously had to manually pump, but then the electric pumps that they used to have, you had to be stuck to a wall. You had to be plugged in, stuck to the wall, and it almost just felt like a chore at that point. So there are different ways that you can adjust the suction settings here. The suction pattern of this does mimic a baby. So initially it is more of a faster sucking motion, and then as you're having a letdown, it will be a little bit more of like the longer, deeper type of a suction. So it does mimic, and then you can also adjust the strength of it just with the buttons on here. It has the option to pause. If your pump is not sealed properly, it will flash and let you know that you need to readjust your pump. The option it has is to use without a bag, which is great if you don't need to worry about being on the go. You can just simply set up your pump to the point that the milk will flow into this part. When you are going to transfer the milk into a bottle or a separate type of a bag, you can just pour it into that and then wash this and be good to go. All of these pieces are silicone, flexible, and you can take it all apart so you can wash it thoroughly. The version that I typically use the most is with using the bags. So you have these pieces, connect it all together. These bags are already sealed, so you don't have to worry about these leaking in any way. You're able to just connect it into here. You kind of tuck it in. It will fill with milk as much as it can. It'll let you know if it is filled. It only came with one charger, and I ended up just coming onto Amazon and buying another charger similar to that so that I could charge both sides at the same time, so that I could use both sides at the same time. Like cleaning brushes so you can properly clean them. Having this pump, it's amazing at how well it works with the output of my milk as well as the convenience of being on the go. I do this while I'm driving. I do this while I'm out. It's so discreet as well, and it's so quiet that nobody even knows you're pumping. I actually had a plumber over here one day, and I needed a pump. My baby was asleep. I was trying to gain a good stash, so I really needed a pump, but I also needed to be able to talk to the plumber when he was finished working on our plumbing issue. I ended up putting these in, and I promise you, he didn't say anything, but I promise he didn't hear me. I know he didn't. Pumping with my husband around, and he didn't even notice. So these are very discreet. Of course, has instructions and user manuals that are very easy to set up and teach you how to use this properly. Side note, I did get this bag on Amazon. I will also link this so you can get one if you want to. It has like a cooling area so you can keep your milk nice and cool when you're on the go. When it comes to the size that you need to get, they have many options for you to figure out what size you need to make sure that you're getting the most comfort, but also the most output. There's a way that you can use this with your phone, but I never did. I just never felt the need. An honest review from a mom of 5, I can honestly say this pump has been the best by far. I highly recommend the Willow pump for 18 months, and I highly recommend it. I recommend it to all my mom friends because it is a complete game changer when it comes to 5 kids. And with all 5 kids, I have pumped and breastfed all of them. And when I got the Willow, it completely changed pumping for me. It made it so much more convenient. Willow, there are many options on pumping. You can either use the bags or you can pump it into the container and then take the container and pour that into a bottle or a different type of a bag. For me, the majority of the time I use these bags because they are just that convenient. With using the bags, you can do anything you want without having to worry about these spilling. It goes right into the bag, and then you don't have to seal this. You don't have to do anything with this. You can pull it right out. You're not going to have to worry about it leaking. Immediately put it into your freezer, your fridge, wherever you're going to be needing to use this. You can easily cut it open, pour it into your baby bottle. It's so much more convenient for storing your breast milk. For me, I would lay these flat into my freezer and let the milk freeze more flat, and then I would stand them up and store them in a bag that way. Or the date right here. It just made it so nice not to worry about having to transfer milk into a bag and spilling it, or having to worry about the bag leaking or not being zip tight enough. Put this immediately into my fridge or freezer and know that all of my milk was safe and secure in this bag. What I had found with using this, maybe it was just user error on my part, but once in a while, not very often, but once in a while, it felt like the bag had some air in it when I was pumping, and my pump would say that it was full because it felt like it was. But it was probably just a user error on my part. But if that does happen, I just simply pushed down on this valve a little bit and was able to squeeze the air out. And then I was able to still use my pump and then fill it up the rest of the way with milk and then put it in my freezer and not have to worry about an air bubble. Just like this with the bag for you to seal them up in, zip them up in, and easily carry them wherever you are. I highly recommend the Willow Pump along with using the bag version of the Willow Pump, so definitely check them out if you are a pumping. In all honesty, I don't know which pump I ordered on Amazon and which one came with my pump. I just know that when I bought my pump and I found that it only had one charger, I knew I needed to buy a second charger because I wanted to be able to make sure that both pumps were working so that I could use both of them at the same time if I wanted to. I hadn't ordered one, and I've been using both of these chargers for 18 months, and I honestly can't tell you which one came from Amazon and which one didn't. Even the labeling of them is exactly the same. So glad they work so well, and just as well as the original, whichever the original is. They work the exact same way, the same amount, same labels, all of it. It has a very long cord, so you don't have to worry about your Willow Pump sitting on the floor to charge. You can put it somewhere safely on a counter or wherever to charge safely. If you are needing a second charger for your Willow Pump or a replacement for your original one, this is the exact same pump that you would get with your Willow Pump, and the fact that it can come within 2 days makes it very convenient. You don't have to worry about missing any pumping sessions because you are able to get this charger fast through Amazon. Wondering if this charger is just as good as the original? The answer is yes. Definitely get it if you are needing one.